let's transition and talk about the latest from Adam Schefter. And it has everything to do, Sarah, with one of the dominoes that's yet to fall in Baltimore, but has elsewhere. And could this create a chain reaction? As Shefty tweeted, 49ers second round pick Alfred Collins, he was the number 43 overall selection in April's draft, reached agreement yesterday, that's the 16th of July, on a 4-year, $10.3 million deal. It includes over $9 million guaranteed, and that is now expected to trigger multiple second-round signings, according to Schefter's sources. Until now, 30 of the 32 second-rounders, including Mike Green, Sarah, remained without a deal. Collins will have 88% of his deal guaranteed, a huge jump over last year's number 43 overall pick. Brian McFarland, Ravens salary cap analyst, tweeted something out right before we went live, and he said, as reads, Turner, who we're talking about here, or I'm sorry, Shamar Turner and the Bears is another second rounder. He's a defensive tackle. He and Chicago have agreed to terms on his 4-year rookie contract. So Brian's like, hey, Mike was 59, Turner was 62, Collins, as you see here on the screen, was 43. So perhaps things should start to happen quickly now. And for those, Sarah, who have been a bit concerned about this domino that yet's fallen in Baltimore, maybe you have a sigh of relief today.
Yeah, I mean, because of course you want to just see Mike Green signed, especially before they put on the pads and all of that. Mike Green, obviously number 59. 88% of the deal being guaranteed. It's pretty good for a four-year deal there. So it'll be good news. It'll be good news that Mike Green signs, just so you can have that peace of mind. The nice thing, though, is that he hasn't been skipping things to put, he hasn't been putting his foot down and saying, I'm not coming until, I've got Eric DeCosta's ink on this page. Now it would have stunk if or still could, because he hasn't signed yet. It would stink if he got injured before he signs that. Something tells me that the Ravens would do right by him anyway. They've done that in the past. For guys like, I feel like they helped Rashad Bateman out when he missed a deadline to make, a couple extra million, all that kind of stuff. So it's good news. He hasn't been injured. It's good news. He's been in the building, because the Ravens are hoping that he can be a major contributor. Sky's the limit with the talent he has, the motor that he has. So let's get going. And here Adam Schefter is saying it expects to trigger multiple second-round signings. Let's go. Let's get this done for the 59th pick in Mike Green.
Yeah. So in other news is good news. It's potential good news that's coming down the pike here in the near future. And that just came down Schefter's timeline last night. Speaking of rookies, Malachi Starks continues to impress here in the early going, where everybody's kind of impressing this time of year. There's a lot of excitement about most rookies this time of year, but Malachi has, I think, Sarah, maybe flashed the most when he's in front of the microphone, kind of showing off his IQ, showing off the way that he sees the game, showing off that maturity that seemingly is well beyond his years. And I know you grabbed a snippet from his recent sit down on the Lounge podcast.
Yeah, there were a couple of cool parts to it. Again, if you want to go listen to the whole thing, it's over on the Lounge. But obviously what we're all highly anticipating is this duo of Kyle Hamilton, who is already a 2-time All-Pro, still on his rookie contract, and now adding this next first-round pick. And both are known for being Swiss Army knives, right? And so this was kind of funny to me. Ryan Mink asking how they're going to complement each other, given that they're both Swiss Army knives.
You two kind of complimenting each other and playing off of each other.
Yeah, I think whatever he wants to do, I'll do the opposite. You know? I'll just wherever I need to be. I think that's what it is. You know, like he's been in the system for a while. Like he really knows the defense. He's very smart. And you know, he can literally do whatever. Like you watch him on tape and he's everywhere. And I think I have that ability, and me being able to learn as much as I can will help me get to that point. So really just, you know, I think, you know, if he wants to be in the box, having me deep in the field will allow him to be that more. If it wants to be vice versa, he wants to be in the middle, I can go down and rotate. So it free both of us up as well. So really, you know, whatever he says he wants to do, I'll do the opposite. Whatever they tell me to do, you know, I'll do it. So.
Bobby, I was so impressed with him throughout the entire interview. Like that was kind of a funny way where like he clearly didn't know exactly how he wanted to answer that at first. Like, how are you going to compliment him? And he's like, I'll just do the opposite of what the All Pro is doing. So if you want to be there, I'll go here. If you want to go there, like whatever it takes. And I love like the respect that he's given to Kyle Hamilton. And he talked quite a bit about how they've been communicating, how they've been working with each other, how Kyle comes to him, and also Malachi is picking his brain so he knows how he thinks. And that way there can be some unspoken communication when they're out on the field together. And perhaps what was also most impressive during another part of his interview was them asking about his film study, because one of his calling cards is basically being a coach on the field, which is unheard of for rookies. And so the guys were asking him, like, how do you get to that point? Like, what are you doing to make sure that you're going to be up to speed really week one? Because that's what the Ravens are expecting to do, is start from week one. And so his answer was basically, I'll do whatever it takes. Like he'll be like, if they give us an install one day and I don't understand it, he's like, after I've been working all day, right, at the Ravens facility, digesting all this stuff, I'll go home, I'll eat, he'll have probably eaten dinner at the facility. He's like, I might take, a little break just to rest my mind. And then he goes back through his notes, rewrites his notes, watches film again, watches the install again, and then stands up and he says it out loud to himself. And it's not just for his spot, but obviously everybody, because as the safety, you kind of want to know where everybody's supposed to be. So he said, if it takes 4 hours to get an install down, I will do 4 hours. He's like, if I already understand an install, I'll still make sure I go back and I review it again. And he's like, but that maybe only take an hour to an hour and a half. But the man is completely dedicated to being ready week one and being able to potentially play loose so that he's not thinking too much.
That makes me think that you shouldn't foresee any alignment issues or errors with him. It's going to be more about getting a feel for the speed, because it seems as if he knows everything else verbatim when it comes to the scheme that he's going to be presented with.
Yeah, and then the guys also asked him, because there was that report about him putting together like a rookie walkthrough, like a mini walkthrough that he just set up on his own. And he gave more details of how that really went down. He felt like, of course, he's given props to everybody, saying it was a group effort.
The report that you were conducting walkthroughs with your rookie teammates during rookie minicamp at the team hotel, which I'd honestly never heard that happening before.
I think it was like the second day. I was downstairs and I just brought my iPad because I didn't want to be in my room. I was tired, so if I did in my room, I knew I was gonna lay down. So I went to the lobby and I sat down, and then one of the other guys came down. So then I texted another guy. I was like, "Hey, we're down here. You want to come down here?" I was like, "There's a ballroom back there." And I was like, I wonder if they're using it. So like one of the guys that goes up, he's like, "Hey, are y'all using the ballroom?" They're like, "No, what do you need the ballroom for?" And he was like, "Oh, we were just asking. So like the next day we come back, and there's more of us. There's like 7 or whatever. So we walk up, we're like, "Hey, do you mind if we use the ballroom? Like we'll put the chairs back wherever they were at, tables. Like we'll set it all back to where it was, but can we just use it for like 30 minutes?" So we all go in there and we're just like, we're helping each other, like we're learning together, like we're moving chairs around and tables and making calls and stuff. And I think it was a collective effort, and I think it just speaks to a lot of the guys that like their mentality to just coming in this year and where we want to be at.
So just the details behind that and how it all went down, grabbing a ballroom, putting out chairs, shuffling them around. And it's just like, you have to eat, drink, and breathe this stuff if you want to be ready by week one. That goes for all the rookies.
I like how proactive he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that, again, the way that he comes across, and maybe he's got a ton more to learn when it comes to the terminology side of things, but it sure seems as if there's something that Malachi is going to struggle with, it's going to be adapting to the speed, maybe not necessarily the study that's required to know where you're supposed to be, spacing, chemistry with Kyle. Like, hopefully that's the type of thing that he can he kind of hold his hat on to start, and then the rest. And Kyle, what a crutch to have in your first season, and you're going to be thrust into, starting position alongside an all-pro. What an amazing crutch to have. Trenton had that opportunity with Roquan last year and blew it. You hope that he's going to be able to win that back. They'll be in a great position if so, because they won't have to rely on a rookie in Teddy Buchanan, who we have high hopes for. But Malachi's impressive. Pads have yet to come on yet. I feel like we need to reiterate that for the
We're looking forward to, yes. Yeah. I mean, there's so many expectations on him, right? Like, they need the secondary to be better than last year, at least the first half. And our Darius Washington was a big part of that, and he's not going to be around. Maybe he will by the end if he can rehab that Achilles. And so it's a lot of pressure, but I mean, when you just listen to the whole podcast, you're like, geez, he just has his head on his shoulders because he's already been through so much adversity. He talked at length about his cousin dying and like the craziness Femi Ayambadejo in the live chat saying Malachi, a future NFL GM. You can totally see that.
Look at him looking clean in his profile photo. Look at all shaven. He's looking clean right there.
Yeah, Femi.
How long ago was that is the question. I'm curious.
I don't even feel like he's aged though. It looks like when he's talking to us here in the vault.
He has not, but he looks young in that one right there.
Yeah. But anyway, he was talking about how his cousin passed, and apparently like the night it happened, Malachi was asking his dad if he could spend the night over there, and his dad was like, no. And Malachi couldn't understand why. And like he was upset. And then the next day, it had kind of happened. He was like, oh, that was probably, I don't know, like my dad made the right call or whatever. Something could have happened to me and whatnot. So there's that. But anyway, because of that early adversity, he just has his head on right. And he's just saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. So if there's anybody that can handle the pressure, it would be him. And then this last clip I'm going to play, Bobby. Ryan Mink is giving him a hard time. He kept talking. You know how everybody says Malachi just checks all the boxes? Well, Ryan's like, but there's two that are unchecked. And Malachi tried to defend himself a little bit on this. Here we go.
I think that I knew it because you check so many boxes. You check practically every box there is, except for two. Okay, so well, number one, you don't really like picking crabs. I found that out a few weeks ago.
Okay, so it's not even the fact that like I don't like picking crabs. I just feel like I'm very like, I'm not lazy, but like when I don't need to be active, I'm not active.
Okay, you're chilling, right? Like you're on your downtime. You don't want to be putting that much effort into crabs.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like you put a lot of effort and you don't get a lot of food out of it. So
right.
Like, now, like if somebody were like to like do all the work and then lay the crab on the table,
I like the crab cake. It's already picked for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just don't like the work. It's just too much for me.
All right. And number two, you're a Troy Palmer.
I just have to say I agree. That's a lot of work for a little bit of meat. Are we crazy here? It's a lot of work.
I feel crazy because I didn't listen to any of that because right on cue, breaking news. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network noting, as we suggested at the top of this show, or at the top of this segment, I should say, the Ravens are indeed expected to sign pass rusher Mike Green to his 4-year contract today. Another second rounder that gets done. And Mike, as we know, Sarah, was the 59th overall pick. So sorry for not listening to your clip.
Yeah.
My eyes veered over here thanks to my peripheral vision. I saw something that said breaking. And now the player that probably is garnering the most excitement in terms of his potential, maybe not right away, maybe in a rotation, looks to be going pen to paper today at one winning drive.
Boom. Boom. Just as we... Isn't it awesome when news lines up perfectly with our show? This is literally the segment in which we started off, as you said, talking about, hey, it looks like it could be any day. Well, how about any second? Any second, your second round pick, 59th overall, probably the second best pass rusher in the draft, is now locked in. Zero drama. We don't have any information. You keep snubbing my clips, Bobby, and see if I want to see how much he got guaranteed. Did he also get 88%?
Yep.
Or is he around that? So we shall see.
More to
Here
come.
we go.
More
Here
to
we
come.
go.
And just in case you didn't get the correlation from earlier on, maybe a hat tip to the representation of Alfred Collins in San Francisco. He was the 43rd overall selection. He reached agreement last night on a 4-year, $10.3 million deal. It includes over $9 million guaranteed. Yes, it did trigger at least one second-round signing in Mike Green, or it will. He hasn't yet, according to Ian's tweet, gone pen to paper, but it sure looks like that's going to happen today. And 88%, as you mentioned, for Alfred Collins, a huge jump over last year's number 43 overall pick. So, as you mentioned, not bad timing here inside the vault. Mike Green ain't going anywhere. Now, why don't you finish up talking about Malachi Starks before I so rudely interrupted you?
You didn't even really interrupt. You're like, I asked you a question. You're like, I really didn't listen to any of that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And now you know why.
Basically, Ryan was giving him a hard time for not liking to pick crabs. But I was saying I agree with him. I like crab, but it takes so much time. It's not worth the effort.
It's a lot, and typically you're not getting all that fill from it.
Yes.
And look, I'm far from a crab expert. You guys know I'm not a Marylander at heart. I've only literally picked crabs. Maybe you can probably count on one hand. I've enjoyed it. Nick's Fish House earlier this summer was a lot of fun with a couple of my friends, but I didn't feel like full walking out of Nick's. I had to get we went to the bar after. I had to get bar food afterwards. That said, a Maryland staple, and I will never poo-poo a Maryland staple.
Good for you. Now, here's one other thing that Ryan gave him a hard time about. I hope this picks up where it left off. Let me see.
Oh, guy. I mean, that's the only other part. As a devoted Ed guy growing up who had.
Oh, basically he's saying that he liked Troy Polamalu. That was his inspiration. And so they're like, you can't pick Troy anymore. He's got to be done.
Had many debates. Ed, Troy. Just saying.
Okay, let me put this out there. I think Ed is the best safety to ever play the game. I don't disagree with that at all.
Yes.
I think I grew up watching Troy.
Yeah.
When I went in the living room, for some reason they were always on the TV. It's just the only game that my parents or whatever was watching.
Yeah.
And I think the way that I watched him move around and
I mean, Troy was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take it. Troy was awesome.
And I think that's what it was. But I think I will stand on the table Ed is the best safety to ever play the game of football.
There we go.
Without a doubt.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Without a doubt.
All right, so he's an Ed guy now. All is right in Baltimore now. All is right in the world. He's left Troy behind. He's picking up Ed as the best safety of all time. And he is.
There you have it.
Yes.